we have something called a soul dance, and that's that driver of your vehicle, that's your soul. So we have soul dances that can describe a few things. So let me explain what a soul dance is. A soul dance is when your soul is in your body. Your soul will move around to different areas of your body called chakras, which are energy points that we have in the body. And I'll go over that in a minute, just real briefly. But your soul will move around or dance kind of inside of your body, touching upon these different energy centers. And these different energy centers that your soul touches upon will have its own motion to it. It'll have its own dance. It'll hit different ones. Each of you will be unique in the way that your soul moves through your body, and that is a description of one of the soul dances that your spirit can do, and that is called your soul job here on earth. So some of the more common soul jobs are truth speakers. These are people that are going to tell you their opinion and they don't care what you think. So they're just going to always have an opinion for something. They're always going to say something. They're very logical, highly intuitive. They just kind of know stuff. Realists are people that I would call, well, a lot of times when I am like in a gallery session, I will see somebody who is a realist because their soul does a particular motion inside of their body to let me know that they are a realist, and these are always my skeptics in the room. Not skeptic, realist. Their job on earth is to ground people, not let them get lost in la-la land, and make sure it all makes sense and it isn't crap. That's a realist job. A truth speaker's job, that means ground you on earth. That's what a realist does. Grounds you on earth, tells you like it is. A truth speaker is going to help you find your truth. And they're probably going to identify your truth. A realist is going to ask you to be logical about things. An empath is going to absorb your emotions. An empath is going to feel. An empath may wake up in the morning and be really fine, feeling really fine, and then all of a sudden they're totally emotional for like about 9 hours in their day, and then they wake up at night and they're better. And they struggle with emotional imbalances. Sometimes they can't wrap their brain around why their emotions are so overwhelming in their day. And that's because people that have a soul job for God, where the soul leans out of the heart, truth speakers, their soul leans out of the brain, out of this area. When I watch your soul dance inside your body, if they lean out of your heart, it means you're empathetic. You're going to grab some people's emotions and you're absorbing them. And that's empathy. We also have our save you rescuers. These are the people that are going to jump in. They're going to save your day, whatever you need. You need a ride, they'll give you a ride. You need to talk, they're going to talk to you. Whatever you need, they're going to jump in and help you in any way that they can. A balancer is your spiritual counselor people. These are the people that all the friends go to because they're going to help them balance out their situation. They have a very good ability to recognize truth and realist, and empathy. So they're good at preparing a plan for you to bring the human and the spiritual selves into balance and into an awareness. We also have validators. Validators are the people that make you feel great all the time. They think you're perfect. They think you can't do no wrong. They think you're awesome. They help you to fulfill that part of you. That is validation. People gatherer are the ones that don't want anybody to sit alone at that table over there. So if there's like 5 of us here and 1 over there, the people gatherer is going to tell that person to kind of come over and say hi. So some of you might already be kind of understanding a little bit about yourselves from a soul perspective. We also have the intuitive. And these are people that kind of have a pretty good grasp of all of the soul jobs. They've been here a few times on the earth. Excuse me. We also have a martyr soul job. They sacrifice themselves for everything. These are the people that, like your Martin Luther King people, these people that surrender pretty much any expression of their humanity for the oneness of everyone. Look at that kind of guy. He didn't worry about his own human life. He worried about everybody as a whole. He didn't care if you were black, white, Asian, Muslim, Mexican. He didn't care. It was just peace. It was just union. Think of an experience, a time in your life where you said something like, oh my God, it just hit me so hard in the stomach. It just, I could feel it. Or a time that you've said, it blew my mind. Or a time you said, my heart was pounding so hard when I walked in there. Or a time you said, I got weak in my knees. From an experience. Guess what? Guess where that experience hit you? In your crown chakra, in your third eye chakra, in your heart chakra, in your solar plexus, in your root. Right? So you've all had experiences like this where you can identify what energy center, what chakra, what part of your energy system is responding to an experience that you are having. Now, in my early time, I had no idea about anything called chakras, ever. Never heard of them, never knew. Me and my grandma were the only two people that talked to dead people, and nobody else did that, and I didn't know anybody that did. Never heard of a thing called like a spiritual community, and like knew that other people were like me. Like I did not recognize that. And so I always knew that like people in heaven would talk to me, and then I'd hear it here. Or some person in heaven would come in the room and it would pound me here. Or my feet would tingle, or something would happen to my body. And so I started to recognize like, oh, every time my brain does that, it means this. And every time my heart pounds like this, it means this. And what I realized, before I knew anything about chakras, I just knew that shit was hitting my body, like life was hitting my body in certain places. Then I started to recognize in my journey that, ooh, if I'm nervous, in other words, my stomach is like, dun, 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 and it's here, dun, 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 and I'm panicking or I'm feeling like I'm having a panic attack, that's awesome for me. It's awesome because it means if I'm having a panic attack, it means it's going to work out just fine. If I'm not nervous, though, and I'm dead in the belly, oh, we're going to have problems. So I have learned over the years how things hit my body. Then about 10 years ago, there was some about chakras somebody said. I said, what the heck is a chakra? And they're like, oh, it's these energy points in your body. So I prayed about it. And I realized, oh my God, I know every one of those. I know exactly what they are. I know exactly what they do. So then when I had my experience, all of this came. So your goal in your soul dance is to recognize what's your mission here on earth. How does your soul talk to your body to relay that information? As a truth speaker, I'm going to tell you a story. And that story is going to hit your brain. And immediately you're going to get a reference. Something's going to pop into your head. And you'll base all of your information on what pops into your head. Because you go solar plexus up. So immediately you get a response. Then you talk about that response. And that is how your soul works. So we can ask your soul any questions that we have about your finances, about your life. And if you know that dance within you, you will be able to tell, okay, this is imbalancing me. This is hitting me in my solar plexus. My husband came home from work and he told me about this experience and I'm feeling it in my solar plexus. Why? What about his story makes me unclear about who I am as a person and how I identify myself as a person? So see, we all have had these types of experiences. And what we're doing in all of this practice of Almapura, what my goal is to teach you how do you talk to you. Because if you can talk to you can talk to your grandma, you can talk to your husbands, you can talk to your children, you can talk to people in heaven at a soul level, you can talk to your own soul, you can talk to the neighbor sitting next to you and see what their soul is doing. And it's only by developing this friendship that you have with your own soul. So soul dances are many, but the first time I see you, typically it's what's your job here on earth. The second time I see you or the third time I see you, your soul's going to be like, talk about this, talk about that. And in those sessions and communications, you will learn how to talk to your own. And then